right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Beats and East show. I bring the eats. This guy brings the beats.
I try.
We're going to be talking about UFC Shanghai.
Yes.
What do you think, man? UFC Shanghai. First thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
The more UFC spreads in Asia, the more it gets developed. The more great cards are gonna come here.
Yeah.
Japan, South Korea, China, which is amazing. It would be how great would it be to have like a fully stacked championship fight card here, really close. It'd be amazing. So I think the more it gets developed and the more Asia produces fighters that are of the caliber that can compete on a championship level, it's gonna. I mean, that's gonna be it.
Okay.
Obviously, Ilya is kind of opening up Spain.
Yep, that's
hopefully,
right.
And hopefully, as we talked about before, hopefully Georgia, which Georgia deserves, deserves a fight. But I know
Definitely.
Dane has mentioned that the logistics there are a little difficult. I'm not sure if the infrastructure can handle it, but it would be great.
Okay, beautiful, man. I love that. Yes, sorry, I'm getting interrupted. Yeah, and beautiful. So obviously we did this last week. It was awesome. We got some pretty good response. So we're probably going to break off and make a side channel with this.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of grow that just specifically UFC, focusing especially on Asia, right?
Yeah.
But the pay-per-views, definitely we got to watch the pay-per-view last time together. What were your thoughts on the pay-per-view, man? Hamzat and Dricus.
The pay-per-view was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought the Dricus and the Dricus fight, Dricus and Hamzat. Hamzat was as amazing as I thought he'd be. I thought he might. I had him to get a second round submission, but actually watching him dominate for all 5 rounds for me as a fan was unbelievable. It was incredible to see somebody wrestle on that level.
Yep.
Not just to wrestle on that level, but to dominate a guy who is already the champion.
Yeah.
Who is
a dominant champion.
Pretty dominant champion, yeah. And who was way overconfident. Obviously fighters should be confident, right? But Dricus was claiming, he
would take him down as well.
Not only that, but he's going to be the GOAT and all of this. And I know you have to be confident and believe in yourself. But for the one thing that baffled me, it's like there's no shortage of film on Hamzat wrestling.
Yeah.
So if they studied the film and they technically understood what was happening, it would be really clear to Visser, his coach, and to Dricus that Dricus is woefully unprepared to deal with Hamzat's wrestling in the cage. So that would have to be addressed, which still probably would not solve the problem because you need a time machine to go back 30 years and start over.
There's no chance. He was saying 4 to 6 months or something, and he's ready to get.
Yeah, he's like,
that's impossible.
When he said in the interview, in the post-fight interview, I know what needs to be fixed. It's like, what needs to be fixed is the fact that you weren't aware of the fact that your fighter was not even in the ballpark of where he needed to be to even be competitive in the fight. The scorecards, someone off the street who knew how to fight could have gone in there and gotten the same. That's just absurd that Morne Visser, the coach, and Dricus for that matter, but it's kind of the onus is upon the coach to kind of be aware of his fighter, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was just baffled that those guys had the confidence they did, and they just couldn't. I guess there was just some hype about Dricus that everybody was kind of riding, but man, it just wasn't even close. It wasn't competitive.
Yeah, usually what happens is people count Dricus out, and he just always wins. And then this time,
yeah, everyone's afraid to get it wrong again.
Yeah,
because
people
he's
like,
done it a
well,
bunch,
he always
right?
wins, right? And I think one more thing to touch on that. What is like your message to people that said, "Oh, that was such a boring fight"?
I think that's for me. That's ridiculous.
That was a huge comment. Huge comment. Yeah.
Luke Thomas, right?
Yep. Luke Thomas. You're right.
Yeah, I watched Luke's.
He's great.
Yeah, Luke is great, man. He's like the sharpest. You know, his breakdowns are amazing, and he's so articulate and so clear about everything. He laid it out really well. I mean, he expressed the fact that Khamzat's dominance was kind of amazing and just unbelievable, and just, you know, I think he said he'd never seen that kind of domination before, particularly in a championship fight. It's one thing if somebody's making their debut and they got it, you know, and the UFC is like, you know, kind of, you know, trying him out, and then he just kind of falls flat. But to have a guy who's the champion get dominated in that way, I think one thing Luke Thomas said was, you know, I don't even think somebody who gets dominated like that should be able to be in the pound for pound rankings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
which
it's
kind of harsh, but it's true, because if you're in the pound for pound rankings, it should be an impossibility for you to deal with that kind of dominance or to get dominated in that way. So yeah, I think I mean, the fight was the card was amazing. That fight was amazing, and I personally, you know, I can understand how when people want to watch stand up and they want to watch guys get hit, and they want to see some blood, why they would find that boring if that's what you're showing up for.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But for me to see Khamzat dominate in that way was, I think, like Robert Whittaker said, it's kind of fascinating. Just unbelievable. Like, how does a guy dominate like that for 5 rounds?
That's crazy.
At that level.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, I think that was great, and I think it was mostly casuals saying that was bad. They're looking for striking, maybe. Of course, people like knockouts. They like striking.
They do.
And of course, right before that, they got spoiled a little bit with 2 spinning elbow finishes in the first. I believe both were the first round, right?
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. Aaron Pico, man. Oh, that was
kind of called somebody last week called it kind of a Patchy Mix 2.0, shades of Patchy Mix, and it ended up being that way, which is, it's always sad. You don't really want that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty tough, and it was a vicious one. So,
it was, yeah. And
so we kind of don't want to see that, because we are fans as well.
We did, we kind of called it on that one. So the thing about Aaron, right, is Aaron's, if you watch the way that Aaron starts fights, he's so aggressive. Yep. So, I mean, like, terrifyingly so. If you're not prepared, he's going to destroy you. 100%. But, you know, the guy he was fighting has more experience than he does. Yeah. Been fighting longer, and Larone's just experienced. And Lerone said in the interview post-fight, he said, man, you can't come at somebody who's got that amount of experience in that way. You can't throw caution to the wind and be aggressive like that, because they're just gonna, once they, I think once Lerone Murphy gauged what was going to happen, he was probably just waiting and planning, because at that point there's no guessing as to what Aaron Pico is going to do. He's just going to keep coming at you full bore, right? Yeah. And it was like you said, it was
rough. It's rough to see that, because again, at the end of the day, we're fans. They're people, they're athletes. We want them to go in, have a good fight, win or lose, make some money, go back, see their family, right? We don't want to see anyone get, like, everybody loves knockouts, but when somebody's not getting up after a knockout, that's scary, and it's pretty rough.
Yeah, they said they couldn't. They said they couldn't get his mouth guard out.
Yeah, that's like right. All the way to the hospital he rode with his jaw shut,
locked up. Which is
hopefully he's good. Let us know in the comments if he's good. I believe he's good. Intense, it's been a week now, so I haven't heard anything aside from the mouth guard thing.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Pico's a great fighter. He's a great fighter, man. I just think he has to. He's got to learn how to kind of control his output and be more strategic. I
think also Dana, when he brings over champs from like a ONE FC or a Bellator or a PFL or something, he wants to. He's not trying to build them up. You know, he doesn't want to build them up and then be like, okay, let's build them up slowly, get him some UFC experience, and then kind of, you know, put him in the top 10. He throws him in the top 5 or top 10, right?
Scenario, absolutely.
So, and it makes sense because, you know, one thing, it's 50-50. You know, it's like Apache Mix or an Aaron Pico where they kind of get, you know, starched and then it's rough. They kind of rebuild, they come back. There's been some fighters that just 2-3 losses and then they go, right?
That's right.
I think Pitbull came and he won again. He lost his first one though.
That's right.
But then you get like RDR, like a Rainier de Ritter. He comes in, and he looks great. And they're thinking about putting him with Hamzat. He got a fight. He got another fight coming up.
Yeah, RDR
with Fluffy, right?
RDR is going to fight Fluffy.
Yeah. So that'll be great. That'll
which
be a good fight.
I think should happen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously both of those guys want the title shot. But at this point, you know, the amount of work that Hamzat's put in to be where he is. Yeah. You know, it should be kind of filtered, you know, to the guy who deserves it.
Exactly.
And seeing RDR and Fluffy is, man, that's a good fight. That's a great fight, man.
And that's actually UFC Vancouver.
Yeah.
And usually,
man.
You know, the last couple cards in Canada have not been that great, but to bring that fight to Vancouver, that's a beauty. That's almost like worth. I want to go back and watch that one. Yeah. But it's a little too soon for me, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're the guys we're going to be covering all the Asia cards and stuff, right? So UFC, any kind of Asia stuff, we're the guys right here with the Beats and Eats podcast, man.
Yes.
But let's dive into, we're talking about knockouts. Speaking of knockouts, let's talk about the main event. We'll start with the main event of UFC Shanghai. We've got Johnny Walker.
Yes.
Right? We've got Johnny Walker and Zhang Mingyang, right?
Yes.
And two kind of different streaks, you know, coming into this one, right? So what are your thoughts on so I'll go a little bit on Johnny first.
Sure.
So I'm actually quite a big fan of Johnny Walker. I remember Johnny Walker coming up, you know, through the rankings, and at one point he was the guy. He was the killer. He was the man that was supposed to, you know, quote unquote dethrone Jon Jones. Like he was coming up, he was like starching everybody. The only way he was getting hurt was, you know, his post-fight celebration. He tore his shoulder. I don't know if you saw that. He beat somebody. I think it was Serkinov. There was a fight that he did. You guys can drop it in the comments.
His post-fight celebration.
So what he did was he knocked someone out in the first round. And so from what I hear, he used to be an exotic dancer. Quote me, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. In Brazil. So he's groovy. Like he likes to dance, right? So after he wins, this is when he was coming up, he would kind of like, so he comes up, he puts his hand up like that, and then he drops. And he does like the worm, right? So he's like doing the worm after.
Man.
And then just this one time when he dropped after a first round KO, he tore his like rotator cuff or something. So he was injured for a while because of the worm. So that was when he was coming up. I believe he was undefeated at the time still.
Man.
So that, you know, 205 pound, everybody's like, this is the guy that's going to dethrone Jon Jones. Can't wait to see him fight Jon Jones.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fighting Corey Anderson before Corey went to another organization. And I believe he lost in the first round. He got out wrestled, and then I believe he got finished. And then from then on, it's kind of been hit or miss for Johnny Walker.
Right.
So he's wins some, he loses some. We'll look at his record in a second. But what about Zhang Mingyang, man, from China? Tell me about him.
Zhang, I mean, he's tall, man. 191 centimeters, 75-inch reach. He's fighting out of Qingdao in Shandong province. And I guess it looks like he's got a blue belt in BJJ.
Oh, really? A blue belt?
A blue belt.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So that's...
He's got 19 wins, 13 by knockout, which is a pretty knockout heavy.
I believe he's on a streak, right now?
He is on a streak, yeah.
Okay.
He's got 6 submission wins, too. So
he's well-rounded.
Yeah, he's capable of submitting, but obviously he's got heavy hands. And I think his timing. So when I was checking him out, his early career. So it says here, he started in 2014 at age 16.
That's beautiful. You were telling me some cool stats about him before we jumped on, right?
Yeah,
About his background that I didn't know.
Supposedly, he grew up in the mountains.
Okay.
And his, I think, if I have it correct, his uncle came back and was a Shaolin practitioner, and he begged his parents to go and study like Shaolin style, and they let him. So that was his precursor to UFC.
So he was training to be like a Shaolin monk.
I guess
Kind of like he went into the temple.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't want to get too specific
Sure.
and mess
Of
it
course.
up, but
Yeah,
I know he did that training, and then I guess he by chance caught a UFC fight on television, and it caught his attention. And obviously, you know, as it says here, age 16, he started fighting in the regional scene. So he's, you know, Zhang is 27 years old. So he's, you know, I mean, he's got a bunch of time left, particularly if he plays his cards right.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I love his name, the Mountain Tiger. I guess
good one,
his father gave him that name.
Okay.
So I think his father was, so he was born in
Taihe County
in Fuyang City of Anhui Province.
Okay.
Anhui.
So he's trained in like Shaolin style, right? Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And he's on, I believe it's a 12-fight streak right now, I believe. Combination of knockouts, and submissions, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Jonny is on a 2-fight skid right now, I think, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong again.
I think so,
I believe so, yeah. So why do you think that the fight making team put these guys together in Shanghai?
Well, we talked about it.
I know. Yeah.
No disrespect at all to Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's a great fighter, but he does not have the sturdiest of chins, right?
Yep.
And they put him in with a guy who is basically a first-round knockout artist.
Okay.
Not the best combination for a guy with a soft chin.
It's crazy because that used to be Johnny Walker.
Yeah,
like
right?
He was the guy that was finishing everybody. He was and he's a beast. I think he's bigger height wise. I think he's bigger.
He's a big guy, yeah. And when I've watched some of Johnny's early finishes, man, he's like
killer.
Yeah,
fearless.
Yeah, he is a killer. But it's kind of the control and the fight IQ thing.
Yeah.
And like again, you said he's got a background as an exotic dancer. I mean, obviously, some of the guys he's fighting have been fighting competitively since they were, 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think there's something that happens like with fight IQ, and obviously just like music, just like obviously I'm a musician, you're a chef, but when you do something for a really long period of time, especially from the young years, it kind of gets downloaded onto your hard drive.
Yeah, it becomes habit. Yeah,
it becomes habit where you don't think about it. So I feel like and again, we've also talked about like when somebody's chin gets compromised. Yeah. After that, it kind of changes the way they fight. It definitely would make somebody more apprehensive. Volk was a great example of having 2 knockouts and then coming back and beating a young lion, coming back and beating Diego.
But to be honest, that's the exception to the rule usually.
Volk is a special fighter. Yeah, Volk is a monster.
I mean, if you look at one of my favorite fighters, he's on a skid now, Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
Right. So he was one of my favorite guys coming up undefeated, beat Dominic Cruz, and he was amazing. And then he got knocked out a few times, and now it's the same thing. It's kind of up, down, up, down. Yeah. Definitely the chin is compromised, which is sad because I love that. And I feel I hope that they made some money. I hope that they're making money, and I always wish them the best. But I'm a fan, so I'm not going in getting punched in the face, right? So yeah, I love them. So yeah, definitely.
And it's interesting. Like it would be interesting to simply it would be interesting to do a podcast simply on what happens after a fighter who's kind of doing well gets knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Take we could do 5 or 10 guys and just see what the trajectory is after that happens. Because I don't know. It's like the question is there a physiological change? Like once that happens, once you get a full concussion,
there must be, right?
Does it open the pathway for the next concussion to be easier?
Yeah.
Like because it's been compromised, has something altered where it's easier for you to get a concussion?
Yeah. Likely.
Compounded with the fact that fighters get a little more tentative once they've been knocked out, because nobody wants to be knocked out in front of an arena full of people, right?
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah,
So give me your pick. Your pick for the fight.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick Zhang. I mean, he's fresh. He's got the momentum, and I feel like we mentioned like it's kind of easy pickings for him.
Yeah, I think of course it's a Shanghai card.
Yeah.
They've got this guy who's just this massive Shaolin guy. He's amazing. So they want to build him up. And Johnny's got a good name, right? Johnny Walker's a good name.
Yeah.
And Johnny could do it, but I don't know what the odds are, but likely.
Johnny could do it.
He could do it, yeah. But likely, like you said, yeah.
And if somebody bet on Johnny and they just had that itch, they had that feeling, they could make some money. It's not an impossibility for Johnny to win the fight at all.
Yeah. I think one key is like what you were saying earlier. So Johnny's, he's Brazilian.
Yeah.
So usually the Brazilians have pretty good jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. And you were saying that Zhang Mingyang was a blue belt. Like a blue belt, I'm not sure how much you know about jiu-jitsu, but that's just above white, right? So that's, obviously it's good, but for UFC level, it's maybe, most people are going to be brown belts, black belts. So yeah, if he's got a blue belt, that could be something that maybe Johnny just kind of, gets Hamzat crazy and he just goes for a takedown, and because he's huge.
Yeah, Johnny could do it. And Zhang's got 3 losses by knockout and 2 by submission.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah, he's one by decision. So he's also he's also kind of had a mixed bag. I don't think his chin is compromised. And again, it's weird. I watched Zhang's knockouts, right?
Okay.
Particularly the ones against the fighters who were kind of stacked against him, who people really thought were going to dominate. And it's kind of like with Pereira, right? Yeah. Where some fighters just know how to use their leverage and their body weight, and the way they do it creates the right amount of torque.
Okay.
Coupled with their ability to aim correctly, obviously. Yeah. But there's something like some guys can hit and hit and hit and hit and punch and punch and punch, and they can't fucking knock somebody out. It seems like they can't do it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They just don't have the power to do it. And then some guys it seems like
natural.
They just touch someone and they go to sleep.
That touch of death, right?
Yeah, this guy, I wouldn't say he's. I mean, Pereira to me is like an anomaly. The way that. When I think it was Mark Goddard who said that whoever was reffing one of the Pereira fight against Joaquin Buckley, and he said that. Not Joaquin Buckley. Sorry. Against
Jamal Hill.
No.
I'm not going to keep saying. Okay. Who else
Joaquin Buckley.
Who did he fight? Okay.
Anyways,
who else did he fight? Yuri. Who else did he fight?
No. In that fight, he said that the sound that Pereira's hits made, like the sound of it, he said he'd never heard an impact of a sound on someone's body like that. He said it was like almost disturbing to him the way it sounded.
Eerie.
Because it was so powerful when Pereira was striking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is pretty intense because
That's
that
crazy,
guy's
because that's his
listening.
job, right? Yeah, he listens to that all day.
He listens to it all. For
That's
him
crazy.
to notice that,
Yeah.
you're like, woof. So, circling back to Zhang, I think Zhang has timing and leverage. He's just a guy who kind of knows how to use his body weight. I would assume. I mean, it says here. So when he was 7, he met his uncle who finished training in the Shaolin Monastery.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he trained Zhang in martial arts. At 12 years old, Zhang's parents sent him to the Shaolin Monastery to train after he begged them to.
Okay.
And then he started practicing Sanda, becoming the Henan Province Youth Sanda Champion and the National Youth Sanda Champion at the age of 13. So obviously this kid knew really early on, and I would assume, of course, that the training he did at the Shaolin Monastery. I mean, you've seen some of these guys fight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Those guys are amazing. Yeah.
The power that they generate, it's just kind of a different thing. So he's got that, whatever that is.
They've also got like this kind of like a mind of like steel, you know. They get hit and they I don't know, they've got this weird mindset which has been amazing, you know, like they get hit and they're like, you know, they make themselves like metal or whatever, and they just, you know, they get hit and it's crazy. It's a different vibe.
It's a different
cool.
thing, man.
So I think that probably likely Zhang Mingyang will take that. But I think that Johnny Walker, if he can grab him, because he's bigger, actually, Johnny's massive. If he can get him to the ground, Johnny Walker's, you know, probably got good jiu-jitsu. I haven't seen much of his jiu-jitsu because he's a knockout guy.
Yeah.
But if he takes him down and he's on top of a blue belt,
sure,
and he's he's quite a bit bigger. So,
and if Johnny, you know, if Johnny's defense is intelligent, like if he protects himself,
he's got a good shot,
and kind of susses this guy out, and you know, as far as distance in that, I still feel like it's not out of the question for Walker to win the fight. It's just that everybody, once somebody's chin gets compromised,
it's tough.
Yeah, and everyone just thinks, oh, they've been knocked out, so they're going to get knocked. So it's kind of like, I think for some people, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
They get knocked out, and then they're afraid that that's going to keep happening. And then if you think about it enough, it's going to keep happening, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's look at the co-main, right?
Yeah.
So Brian Ortega,
Aljamain
Sterling,
Aljo.
right? So Brian Ortega missed weight this morning.
I think
Did you see him miss?
By
quite a bit, right? So they made it some kind of a catch weight. Maybe is it on here?
They brought it
is
up
a catch
to
weight, right?
155, I believe.
Yeah, so it's a catch weight. Yeah. And it was funny because a lot of the memes that were coming out for Brian Ortega were, you know, when he looked like a zombie, honestly, when he was making weight. So I'm not sure what happened. He missed weight by a lot.
No, it looked like he just came out of the dryer. I mean, his hair, he looked so disheveled and like out of it. It was, I think people were like, is this guy going to be able to fight?
Yeah, it's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah.
One of the funniest ones I saw was, you know, he comes out and he's just he looks like a zombie.
Yeah.
And it says, Brian Ortega looks like he just woke up in midnight to take a pee, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
putting that aside, Aljo's got great jiu-jitsu, but Brian Ortega's got arguably one of the better he's best jiu-jitsus in the UFC, one of the best.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega,
I mean,
is
remember
amazing.
Remember the Volk fight?
He had Volk in that guillotine.
He was like a couple seconds away from Volk kind of going to sleep.
We don't know how Volk survived that.
Volk said that the lights started to get dim.
I can imagine.
Before he popped back.
That's crazy.
And Ortega is so fast with those submissions. He's an amazing submission artist. And then also Aljo is like the backpack guy. Like, you know,
That's right. Yeah.
Although Aljo's last fight, it was really close, and
was it Calvin Cater fight? I believe
it was Movsar.
Okay. Oh,
I
gotcha.
believe.
Let's
and
go.
He lost the decision. Right.
Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, Aljo. Let's check his record.
I think that's the last one. Is that the last one? Yeah.
Oh, Evloev, right?
Oh, sorry.
Evloev. Yeah, I remember that. That was. Oh, that dude's a mom. Yeah, that was a good one, man. The O'Malley fight as well. That was good.
Yeah, I got it totally wrong.
Calvin Cater. That was the one. That was a good one. That was his debut, I believe. And he moved
that's
up.
right. Aljo won, and then Aljo wasn't like totally excited about his performance in that one, but he won.
Yeah, but he won.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he was the champ. He was beating everybody, and
That's
then he
right.
lost to O'Malley,
Yeah.
right? And then he moved up.
He lost to O'Malley. Oh man.
That was a
Honestly, man, you know, I think O'Malley, for me, in a lot of ways, was kind of an accidental champ.
Okay, really? Okay.
I do, yeah, because I think
Sugar Sean.
even Aljo said in that fight that he came out and he, you know, when people are fighting a striker, and I think Charles did this too. I think Charles did this with.
Ilya. No?
Yeah.
Justin
I think
Gaethje?
Charles was like,
Okay.
okay, they're you know, because when you get to a certain level, you don't want people to think you're like, I can strike too, right?
Bilal
It's
did
like-
that as well, I
It's
think.
like, yeah, you can strike too, but not like this guy, not with the power that he has.
Yeah.
So just do what you're great at. If Aljo would have stuck to his game plan,
Yeah.
and if Aljo would have stayed back, managed his distance,
Yeah.
and taken O'Malley to the ground, Merab has said himself that Aljo is better on the ground than he is.
Yeah, he has.
Merab has said that, and
Yeah.
Merab
Merab's
dominated
absolute-
O'Malley twice. So
Yeah.
if Aljo would have stuck to his game plan,
Yep.
O'Malley would have never become champ. Obviously, we can't go back in a time machine.
Sure,
but
sure.
yeah.
I also think, just to add on to that, I think Bilal had that because he
Yeah.
wanted to prove he's got those Canelo hands. And so he was striking with JDM.
Yeah,
And if he wrestled him, he would have cleaned it. I think he still won that fight, honestly. But
Yeah.
if he did, yes, he got a few takedowns were stuffed.
Right.
But if he just chain wrestled like he can, he would have won that fight easily. But like Khamzat style or like an Islam style, where they just wrestle people to death.
Yeah.
But he wanted to prove that he had the striking, so he made it close.
That's right.
And then he lost the decision.
And Islam has
Yeah.
proved that he has hands. Like Islam
right,
stood
yeah.
with Poirier. He submitted him, but man,
Yeah.
he stood with him and traded.
Yeah.
And he got caught. They both got caught. You know?
But so we've got, what about Brian Ortega, man? We got Brian Ortega.
Yeah, Ortega, as we said, you know, with the way he looked.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks he's going to be in great shape for this fight, but
Yeah.
he's so dangerous. His jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
is so good that it's always a chance.
He looks bigger, too. Like, he looks, I mean, obviously he's going to be heavier.
He does look bigger, yeah.
Like 8 pounds or whatever, yeah.
He just looks a lot bigger than Aljo,
Yeah.
Take it for 1 second.
Yeah, so for sure. So basically, I think that Aljo has obviously really good jiu-jitsu, right? And I think that Ortega's jiu-jitsu is among the best, in the UFC. And I think that, his jiu-jitsu will be, I don't think, because both of them have really good jiu-jitsu, it's probably going to turn into a stand-up war. But I also think that I've got to check the reach here, actually. So let's go back. Let's go back here, quickly check the reach. So let's see if I can find the reach on here. I can't see the reach. But I believe that Aljo is, depending on the weight cut. So I think that Aljo's probably going to take that. And then, I believe that's going to be a good scrap. If you guys are watching on Instagram right now, I haven't quite figured out how to get the comments live on Instagram. So if you can, jump over to YouTube and, give us a comment there. We can answer those live because we are actually live right now. So don't let us down. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are probably going to spin this channel off and do it into just like a full out, UFC breakdown channel sort of deal. And we're probably going to do that. But I was just mentioning that usually when two people have like really good wrestling or really good jiu-jitsu, it becomes sort of a stand-up fight because it kind of like Usman and Colby Covington.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's like, we want to see who's a better wrestler. They didn't wrestle at all.
Right.
They both stood up and they both fought. So we'll see. Likely, depending on that weight cut, Aljo, the Funk Master, I believe, is probably going to take that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. What do you think?
I think so. Ortega's stand-up is pretty solid. I mean,
definitely.
I think Ortega's stand-up is maybe a level above Aljo's.
Yeah, I agree.
And on the ground, Aljo's obviously got a more wrestling-heavy style.
Sure, yeah.
Ortega's more focused specifically on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, like Aljo's trains with like Matt Serra. He trains with like Weidman, Chris Weidman, and those guys who are like big American wrestling style guys.
And Merab. So,
Merab as well.
So I feel like physically, Aljo has the advantage on the ground.
Yeah.
That being said, man, Ortega's so crafty with those submissions. Yeah. But as other people have mentioned, he also can burn himself out by going for submissions that aren't going to hold.
He's got no fat on him, so that's also, he's got a heavier,
Yeah, Aljo is
muscle,
just in such great shape.
Yeah, he's looking good, for sure.
And he looks, I don't understand. You also have to consider the fact that, so he didn't make weight, I think by 8 pounds, but
that's crazy. It's a big cut.
What kind of camp did you have, and what kind of training are you currently kind of doing to get you into the position where for a professional fight you don't make weight?
That's tough. The UFC just cut a guy, Brian Battle. So Brian Battle was a Ultimate Fighter winner, actually a really good fighter. He's on a win streak as well, but he missed at I believe 170.
Yeah.
And then he moved up to 185, and then he missed at 185. And then they just cut him, which is sad. I believe he signed with Dirty Boxing, so maybe that was the plan. Maybe he had a good deal from Dirty Boxing, and he tried to get cut. But it's never good to, get cut from the UFC because you missed weight twice at two different weight classes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's weird, yeah.
I think at a certain level, particularly, Ortega's
UFC,
a veteran, so it's like
UFC's the top of the top. So
it is like not making weight shouldn't really be an option at this point.
No, I agree 100%.
Particularly, obviously they argued about Arman when Arman didn't fight Islam. He said it was his back, but Dana said several times in interviews that it's because he couldn't make weight.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, man, it's not like you don't know the fight is coming up.
That's why you have like the 3-month fight camp, right?
Yeah,
right.
and you just have to do what you have to do to make that, or
move up,
Yeah. So, the guys that never miss, like would you ever think Volk is going to miss? No, it's not going to happen.
Well, if you look at Alex Pereira, he weighs like 220 pounds or 240 pounds walk around, and he still makes 185.
He makes it.
And then 205, which is crazy. But
guys like that, they just don't ever miss weight.
They don't. Yeah,
I think
it's their job.
Yeah, if somebody misses weight, particularly not by a couple pounds, but by 8 pounds, you have to say, well,
that's a lot.
Like in the last 6 months, like what is this guy not doing that led to him missing weight? It's not like he just
the lifestyle.
It's not like you just found out a few days before. It's not going to happen. It's like, no, man, you're
crazy.
You're not planning for this. So in that sense, Ortega, based on that and how he looks, it just doesn't seem like he's there. Like his mindset is not in it.
Yeah, let's see.
Aljo is in it.
See how it looks. That's on tonight. I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, and I really, man, I want to see Aljo come back. I
like Aljo.
I love Aljo, man. I was bummed when he lost that O'Malley fight. I think he could have easily won that if he would have followed his game plan easily.
For sure.
O'Malley would have had no answer for him on the ground.
Agree. Yeah, that was a weird one, man.
But
so that's the co-main, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the next. We got Sergey Pavlovich.
Yeah.
And we've got Waldo Cortez Acosta. Right?
Yeah.
So he's okay, it's not just mine, right? Because if you scroll up here, it's messed up. But that's why I was looking at it thinking, what's going on? What happened to my computer?
That's right.
Yeah, sorry, the UFC's website is bugging out right here. Check this out. If I scroll up, I'm trying to go through, I don't know, all of a sudden it looks like
off.
that.
That's right.
Okay, I thought it was my computer bugging out. I was about to throw it across the room here. But so co-main, definitely. So let's look at Sergey Pavlovich, knockout artist.
Yeah.
Waldo Cortez Acosta, Dominicano Papi, right?
That's
so
right.
We've got him coming in. This will be a good scrap. And everybody likes to see heavyweight sluggers, right?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sergey's 19-3-0.
Okay. He was actually on a streak, smashing everybody until he got to Tom Aspinall. And they both of them were kind of just, I think he landed on Tom, kind of wobbled him a little bit. And then Tom landed on him and put him out. But
That's
up
right.
until that point, he was just smashing everybody.
I mean, he's
right?
got his record is great. I think Pavlovich. What were his last losses?
I think he lost to super tall guy, Drago, the super tall Russian dude.
Yeah, so
Volkov.
Rosenstruck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure he finished. Did he finish Rosenstrike?
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Well, he won by decision against
Oh, really?
Rosenstruck.
Okay.
Yeah. Volkov took that one.
Volkov is underrated. I love Volkov, man. I think that Volkov beat Cyril Gane in that other one, but
Volkov,
that's another
that
topic.
was a unanimous decision
Okay,
to
okay.
Pavlov. To Pavlovich. Aspinall,
Aspinall.
round 1.
Yeah, he got knocked. So that was a
KO.
crazy one.
Yeah.
That was for the M-term title,
Yeah,
and they wanted to see who's going to fight Jones.
that's right.
And then Aspinall got like semi-wobbled because
Yeah.
Pavlovich is
He's
powerful,
got-
right?
Yeah.
And then Tom clipped him, put him out, and that was like a shocker. I believe that might have been one of his first losses, if not the first.
Yeah, guys that size, like
Yeah.
throwing hands.
One and done, man. Yeah,
my
one
God,
and done.
man, yeah.
Yeah.
And so-
they're trained.
Yeah, and
they're 260 pounds.
He's 33, so he's not a spring chicken. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not. His career isn't over by any means.
But heavyweights can go a little bit later. The power stays until like the 40, I think.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. The power is like one of the last things to go. That's
As
yes.
Rocky said, right?
So that's so those are his last 3: Aspinall,
Nice.
Volkov, and Rosenstruck. And I think it looks like his
Jairzinho Rosen, yeah.
Yeah, his takedown average 0.63, his submission average 0.00.
Yeah, he's just going in there to take
He's a
your head
banger.
off, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What about his opponent? I haven't heard too much about him, Waldo Acosta.
Yeah,
He's from the Dominican Republic, Dominicano. Shout out to the Latinos out there watching the show.
Yeah, so
What's he about, man?
He is 6'1" and
So he's got 7 fights.
sorry. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. He's 14-1-0.
14-1-0. Okay.
So he's got a great record
Great
right
record.
now.
Yeah.
6 wins by knockout, 1 by submission, 3 first-round finishes. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a great record.
It's a great record.
I think
And his
they wanna
nickname is
move him up.
Salsa Boy.
Salsa Boy.
So you
All
should-
right.
yeah, we
Hey,
should
there
talk
go. We
to
have
him
to talk
about
about the salsa,
getting
man.
an endorsement from Eddie's Cantina.
Salsa Boy, man. We'll get the Eddie's
The
Cantina
green
logo
salsa
on
here
there.
is killing. If you
Yes,
haven't had it,
appreciate
you got to
that.
have Eddie's green salsa.
About to get some food in a minute
It's
here.
amazing,
But yeah,
yes.
no, I think that's it's interesting. I think they put a couple heavyweights on there, so
Yeah.
he's basically surging, and they're going to give Pavlovich a chance to get back into the top there.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah,
his Acosta's striking accuracy 49%, takedown accuracy 50%.
okay.
So he seems like he's not he's
Pretty well-rounded.
Yeah.
Okay.
He seems well-rounded. Submission average 0.14. So
Okay.
obviously he's more of a striker.
Yeah. Well, the heavyweight guys. I mean, they're throwing bombs. These guys are throwing bombs.
Aspinall is kind of the anomaly where he moves like a middleweight. Aspinall's speed and his dexterity is kind of crazy for a guy that size to move the way that he does. I think that's kind of what makes Aspinall special.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody wanted to see Jones and Aspinall
Because Jones obviously is amazing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jones is an incredible athlete, and two guys that are able to move that way. I mean, I think everybody has said that when Jones went up, and plus obviously his his age is
He's getting up there, but
they said he's slowed down a little from
He did
when
slow down,
which
a
of
little
course,
bit.
I mean,
Of course.
he's been doing it
You put on
forever.
50 pounds or something, and you're going to slow down
But
a little
everybody, everybody still wants to see or wanted to see the Aspinall Jones
bit.
thing.
Yeah. So the problem with the heavyweight division is Tom Aspinall has beat 8 out of 10 of the top 10.
Yeah.
Right. So he's beat almost everyone in the top 10. He hasn't beat Cyril Gane yet, and there's one more. I'll have to double check. There's 2 guys that he hasn't beat yet, and so he's going to fight Cyril Gane. But yeah, that should be a good fight. Cyril Gane is actually quite good on his feet, but likely Aspinall will keep going with that. Yeah.
After I just keep I just keep remembering the look on Cyril Gane's face after Jones submitted him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Gane was just looking at, he had this like deer in the headlights kind of look, like, that's my hero.
Yeah.
And he just seemed to get so dominated. And I feel like Aspinall's younger, bigger, and faster, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
and hits harder.
As fast, and he hits harder. So I don't think if Gane was competitive, not even won, but if he was competitive in that fight, that would blow my mind, because I kind of feel like I mean,
like, he's a good kickboxer, but the problem is usually, actually, Tom Aspinall started as a jiu-jitsu guy. His dad's a jiu-jitsu coach.
Yeah.
So, like, he's been doing jiu-jitsu since he was a kid.
Young. Yeah,
so he's really, really, like, he's going to be tough to beat, for sure.
He's going to be tough to beat. I wouldn't want to be in that.
I'd like to see them bring back Francis, maybe, but I still think he destroys Francis.
He will, because he can destroy Francis
so
on the ground.
Yeah, he's so fast.
Again, I think at this level now, mixed martial arts has evolved into this. So I mean, look at Ilya. Even though Ilya's gotten there by his striking, the beginning of Ilya's career was as a wrestler, you know, and it's his ground game. You know, you've got Marab, you've got.
I think what happens is, when you're a really good wrestler or a really good BJJ guy, you develop your stand-up punching or kicking power because you have zero fear that anyone's going to take you down.
Yeah.
Because if they do take you down, they're like, that's great. Welcome to my world.
Awesome, yeah.
Right? So they'll just throw, like Ilya, he throws like with power. Because if someone tries to take him down, that he's like, let's go to the ground, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Same as like an Islam. Yeah. Islam throws with like power, because if someone goes to the ground with him, they're like, great. You want to go to the ground with Khabib or Islam or Hamzat?
Nobody wants to
go to the ground with those guys, right? Yeah. So that's why it would be interesting. Again, we talked about it before. Islam and Ilya, they're both super well-rounded. That'd be such a, we were going to go off on that tangent. But definitely that would be a good one. But let's talk about the last two fights. We got a flyweight bout.
Yes.
We've got a flyweight bout here with Sumadaraji from China. I've actually seen his fights, and I remember him because it's very unique. So we live in Taiwan, so it's very unique for someone to have like a Asian, like China, Taiwan, like an Asian person to just have a one-word name. So I remember that name because of that. So, if it's just a nickname or if they named him that, kudos to them.
It must be intentional, because I've never. It's got to be like Sting or Bono.
Exactly.
Like it's kind
Sting,
of like
Bono.
the one name person.
Exactly. So
you just need one name.
Really, really cool. And he's fighting another Latino. Shout out to the Latinos watching the cards.
Kevin
Borjas from Peru. So I've seen him fight as well. So yeah, of course, when the UFC travels to another country, they're trying to build up, the Asian crowd. They want to build up, China. They've got a UFC PI in China. The UFC definitely is going to want to, give these guys kind of favorable fights, right? I think I'm not saying they're gimme fights. There's never gimme fights, because to get to the UFC, that's already a mission in itself, right? You see champs from other organizations coming in, get starched in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
But just getting there, that means you're already ahead of the pack. But when they go to, like, let's say an Ireland or a Spain or a China or a Korea or something like that, they want, if the champ wins or if the local fighter wins, the hometown hero, everybody loves it. Everybody buys shirts. Everybody buys drinks.
Yeah.
Everybody's partying. Everybody's loving UFC. It's good for the brand.
Yeah, and we know there are some guys that it seems like, I don't know, but it seems that Uncle Dana makes their path a little less laborious than others. You were talking about Sean O'Malley earlier, but I mean, there's some people that have less adversity to deal with than getting to a title shot.
For sure.
But it's a sport, but it's also entertainment.
Yeah,
and it is.
People get pissed about that.
Yeah.
But if you look at other organizations, they kind of do it the right way, that people are like, oh no, the best fight's the best. Okay. But then if the two best are two super unpopular guys, no one's watching.
That's right.
And then there's no income.
That's right.
No one goes. There's no income to pay the fighters.
That's right.
Then the fighters complain about fighter pay. But Nobody's filling the seats. I mean, the money doesn't magically appear. Like,
doesn't.
It's a business. Money doesn't like, I have a restaurant. Money doesn't magically appear because, I don't know, I have good food.
Yeah.
You have to be like, hey, we're showing the fights. Hey, we're doing trivia night. Hey, it's taco. That's why Taco Tuesday was invented, because business sucks on a Tuesday.
That's right.
You come in, you do a Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
There's no Taco Saturday, because that's when people are already out.
That's
There's no
right.
happy hour at 8 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because they're out, they're eating, they're drinking, they're off on the weekend. But you have your happy hour on a Wednesday.
Yeah, little incentive to keep
people
everything.
come out,
Yeah.
they want to save a little bit of money, end up, they get a little bit more value. It's the same thing. So the UFC, they have their business.
They do.
They need butts and seats.
Yeah, it's a for-profit business. It's not a
charity.
It's not a charity. And
Exactly.
and I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a sport and it's also entertainment.
Of course.
And it's not the NFL or the NBA where it's just going on math. I mean, there's obviously flexibility. There's kind of Dana and Hunter have kind of creative license to.
They built it.
They built it. Dana took a dying entity and turned it into.
Yep.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. Like the
story's incredible.
Yeah,
I love it.
the Chicago card that just happened. I mean,
I believe it broke records, right? Like financial records, money wise.
It's the highest grossing event at the United Center. That's
Chicago Blackhawks, Chicago Cubs.
That's insane, man.
Right? I believe they both play there. Do the Blackhawks play there?
The
I don't know.
Blackhawks won three Stanley Cups.
Do they all play there? At Wrigley? Wherever? Is it Wrigley or what is it?
The United Center.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's where the Hawks and the Bulls
Hawks
and the Bulls play.
Cubs play there.
Hawks and the Bulls.
And the Bulls.
Yeah, Hawks
Jordan,
and the Bulls.
Jordan.
The
right?
Cubs play at Wrigley Field.
Okay, there you go. So I'm mixing them up. My bad.
That's okay, man.
I'm
Chicago.
kind of I'm a one sport-ish
Yeah.
guy lately. Yeah. But yeah, no. So if you're talking about the Bulls,
Yeah.
forget the Blackhawks. The Bulls, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, they call it the house.
three-peat.
They call it the house that Michael built. That's what they. That's.
And
what,
if the UFC is coming in there with Hamzat
Yeah.
and Dricus
Yeah.
and breaking that record, okay, there's two things that are happening. One, the marketing, right? So they're sold out. Two, tickets are probably more expensive.
Yeah.
So they're raising the price. It's supply and demand. Price is up. It's still selling out. You know what's going to happen? Obviously, Dana's a smart business guy. He's going to find that threshold. The ticket prices are probably going to keep going up until you hit that point where they're not filling, and then maybe they'll drop it like 10%.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm
and
not like Warren Buffett over here, but it's common sense.
And I just think the way that they do it is right, because it's not just about the fight. It's about the build up to the fight. It's about the embedded
UFC Countdown, UFC Embedded. They've got big marketing teams following fighters around.
And they let you know the story. So there's this whole
they build up the fight.
There's this whole movie happening.
Yeah.
So by the time it gets to the fight, you've picked your fighter, and you are so stoked for the fight to happen.
And you know where I don't know if they got it from this, but the best for this growing up has always been like WWF, WWE. They build all that stuff. I remember, this guy's the bodyguard, like Diesel will be the bodyguard for Shawn Michaels, and then he just keeps treating him like crap, and then one day he turns on him, and then they make this huge card, they make the huge story, and then it's called Good Friends, Better Enemies. You know what I mean? So they've taken that, and because it's real, it's not scripted, they've taken the bad blood, obviously Conor, Habib, that was the biggest, right? So they've taken that and they've made huge money for everybody.
Chirping, man, all the talking that they do, that kind of builds it up. And there's even a thing like when fighters don't have that tension, they have respect for each other, but that's its own thing. Yeah. Right. That's this kind of like honor meets honor. Yeah. But then you get like the Cody. Yeah. Where you're just like, oh man,
crazy.
Yeah. Like when he was saying that stuff about Leon's father, you're just like, oh my god, man.
That's bad. Well, then you get Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. I know that he
Yeah.
rubs everybody the wrong way,
No,
but he
but
does it on purpose. It's
he
hilarious.
He does.
I think he's hilarious.
And they're kind of like statistically, there has to be a Sean Strickland.
There
Like
has to be.
it's an impossibility
Bryce
for their
Mitchell also, but he
Yeah.
goes way over the line.
Bryce,
but it's crazy. It's crazy.
When Sean,
Yeah.
goes online and says, "Hey Bryce, you're taking it too far. Man, you really gotta
That's crazy.
reconsider things." Like when Sean Strickland is telling you that you've crossed the line,
He's-
like
yeah,
you gotta reassess.
That's funny,
That's
man.
serious. Yeah.
That's-
When Strickland is the voice of reason, Bryce needs to kind of like step back and
That's
be like,
funny.
yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said. Yeah, maybe you should.
Maybe not.
Oh my
That's
God, man.
You can't talk about Hitler, and that's nuts.
Dude.
That's like a death sentence to your career.
It's crazy, man.
But I don't want to talk about him either. So
yeah. You're right.
So, I don't want to talk about that dude.
But that's a great example, though.
Yeah.
The way that, to me, the way that Dana has kind of mastered this
yeah.
is the build up and the steps that lead up to it. And he does, and there's multiple ones happening at the same time, but he kind of makes space for each one, and it's, again, you're engaged, like from when they do the kind of early press conference, like way before the fight's going to happen, and people are talking, and then it kind of leads up in the embeddeds.
Yeah. And then even
always
at
great.
the weigh-ins, just to finish on that, the weigh-ins, like the day before, those ceremonial ones or whatever, right?
The ceremonial
Rogan comes out, and the first thing he says is, Dana White, without him, none of this would be possible.
Absolutely,
Because it's just been this marketing machine.
Yeah, man.
Dana got the Fertittas in. He got the money. He built everything. I mean, yeah.
That's right.
And I'm not... And a lot of people hate him. I know that. But I think he's just been doing...
I don't see how,
killing it. Yeah.
how you could hate Dana.
He built this thing.
Like, he made this sport
Yeah.
that... I'm sorry, he didn't make it. He revived this business that had this sport in it, and created an opportunity for people everywhere in the globe to have a career and to kind of aspire to be a champion. Like,
because if you take a look at it, the very beginning of the UFC, the Gracies, right?
Yeah.
The Gracie family, they wanted to put everybody in and be like, what style is the best? And that's already a great idea. Sure. Right. And the Gracies obviously won. Hoist Gracie in the beginning, UFC 1, UFC 2. These are, like, the Gracies are amazing, and we love them. And they're, of course, all respect to those guys. They're the OGs.
Pioneers.
But these are fighters. Like, if you look at, organizations built by the fighter, they're like, we know how to fight. It's like a restaurant opened by a chef, like a super chef. I know how to cook. But cooking, fighting, that's a small part of the whole package.
There's a bunch that has to happen
so
for
much.
that.
You've got to be a leader. You've got to be a marketer. You've got to have events. You've got to have good food. You've got to be able to teach people. You've got to be able to teach people how to teach other people. There's so much. So Dana, and then the main thing at the end of the day, I was watching this clip, non-UFC related. I watch a lot of like entrepreneurial things, and if somebody was asking this entrepreneur dude, I can't remember, it was Tai Lopez, what's the secret? And he said, sales solves everything. Right? Raise the sales, that solves everything. Your restaurant, you can't find staff. If you raise your sales 10x and you offer your staff 5x, you'll find staff. You know what I mean? So sales raises it. Sales is everything, right?
That's
so
it.
Dana knows that.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, like even with RDR and Fluffy, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this.
Sales solves everything.
He could have, after Khamzat dominated Dricus, he could have put either one of them. But he's like, man, why?
Don't do it too quickly. Let it run.
Yeah. Let the story play out. Let it build.
Let Chechnya enjoy. Let Russia enjoy.
That
let
was
Abu Dhabi. Let the UAE enjoy their champ. Let him go with the belt. Let him take pictures. Everybody's gonna line up to see Hamza.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy.
And everybody wants to see RDR and Fluffy. They both. Obviously Fluffy's dominant performance. performance.
Yeah.
And RDR has had some. I mean, obviously the fight with Whitaker was really close. It could have gone either way.
True.
But RDR, the Bo Nickel fight was amazing.
That was
when
beautiful.
he just beat
of course
Bo into submission. Yeah.
That knee.
So I think people are pretty
Dutch kickboxing knee from hell.
And those two guys have like really interesting styles. So it's like why
are we rushing this?
Yeah, why
Don't
rush it, man? I mean, kind of milk it a little bit.
Dana's smart. He's not going to rush nothing, man. He knows.
No, he's really smart. I mean, obviously, occasionally there's a card that people are, or maybe more than occasionally, sometimes,
you got to have duds in there. Man,
UFC fans are so fickle, man. They're so fickle.
I have run, I've been running my podcast on this channel here. Don't forget to subscribe. And every single week, pretty much, sometimes twice a week, sometimes I'll miss a week, but then I'll do 2 the next week. But it's basically once a week it's been like 6 years, 6 years. And sometimes you get someone in, that you're like, they've got a great story or something. You get in there and then it's a dud. What can you predict? You can't predict that it was a dud. You get them in there and you're like, okay, that's cool, but you can't predict that it's going to be a dud. Like you thought Khamzat and Dricus, that's going to end in the first round.
Second. I thought it was going to be a second submission.
I mean, like the world thought one of them is going to be first or second.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. And then it did like become opposite of what everybody thought, right? It's crazy.
The amazing thing too about that is that, right, everybody's, you've got the camp that, it's boring. It's like, man, have you watched all of Khamzat's previous fights?
Exactly.
Like, tell me which one of them were boring. Like, none of them were boring. So
stupid.
So it's very clear in that fight with Khamzat and Dricus that Khamzat was proving a point.
Yeah.
I can go 5
rounds. I'm
Dricus
just
and his
gonna hold
coach,
him
we're gonna wrestle with him. We're gonna meet him on the ground. We're gonna Khamzat's like, okay, let's do that.
That sounds great.
Yeah, let's go on the ground and see what happens. And Dricus, Dricus basically sits there like a, I mean, he just got dominated so badly. It was like,
he did.
Oh my goodness,
he did. He did. All right, let's do the last one real quick. These are 2 fighters that I'm not super aware of. Well, we've got one from China, obviously, and he's the favorite, pretty heavy favorite. And so that will be Tai Laka Nuaraji and Kiefer Crosby from Ireland. So what did you find out about these guys, man?
Yeah, so I mean, let's look at
with that.
Let's look at Naraji's.
Look at the quick records here, right?
Yeah, Naraji's 11-1-0.
Okay.
Naraji's got 10 wins.
Okay.
By knockout. Okay. So out of 11 fights, 10 of his wins are by knockout.
Okay, so he's a knockout artist.
Obviously,
they want to put out a knockout show for China. That's what they're trying to do by putting him in.
He's got 1 win by submission.
Okay.
Striking accuracy 49%.
Okay.
Striking defense 59%.
Okay.
Knockdown average 2.26.
Yeah.
Average fight time 6:38.
Okay, wow. So he's
that is almost the same fight time as Khamzat's. Going into the fight, right? So and obviously he's a striker. I mean, so
beautiful. Okay.
So him comparatively, Kiefer Crosby. Kiefer's 10-5-0.
Okay, let's see what we got for Kiefer here.
5 wins by knockout, 2 by submission. So he's also obviously more of a striker. Striking accuracy 52%.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you look at the head, he's a big head hunter.
He's a head
and
guy.
legs as well.
Yeah, head and legs, and it looks like his standing is about 90%. His significant strikes are all coming from standing. So obviously, it's going to be a stand-up fight based on the records.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Crosby obviously has had a little more, has had more losses. So I think if you just base it on that, let's see. Crosby's last 2 fights, he won. He won against Patterson. And he won against Jose, it looks like.
Did he?
Or did he lose both of those?
I believe. When I think let's see this quickly.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I believe he's on a skid, right? Yeah, there we go.
He is on a skid. That's
He's on a
right.
skid. He's on a 2-fight skid
I
right
lied.
now.
He
Yeah?
lost.
Okay.
I forgot.
So as you can see, we were talking about Dana earlier, right?
Yeah.
But the good thing is they're giving this guy a chance. Go into China,
Yeah.
beat this like Chinese monster, this
Yeah.
knockout artist, and then prove your worth, right? Definitely. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Hopefully it works out well, right?
Hopefully it works out well. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like they're giving, like we said, Dana is kind of, I think guys who wouldn't get a chance
Yeah.
on a main card, like in
Yeah.
the States or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Abu Dhabi,
Yep.
they're going to kind of get tested there. And then he's also trying to grow the talent
Sure.
in Asia and China. So
Exactly.
you're going to, it's just like when they're in Canada and they let
Yeah.
Mike, what's his name?
Mike Malott, he always fights, right?
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
a good fight. Is he fighting Kevin Holland or something like that? I think so, right?
I think he's on the card. He's
Yeah,
on the card.
he's on the
coming up.
card, right?
Yeah. The
Sorry.
Vancouver one.
We're going to have to call it pretty soon here,
Okay.
guys, because it's going to get packed out. But final thoughts, man?
Final thoughts
on the card. What are you thinking?
Final thoughts. Johnny Walker obviously has a chance, but
Johnny's got to go to the ground.
yeah, Johnny's got to
take
go to
it
the
'cause
ground.
We're saying blue belts.
Yeah,
It's going to have to go to the ground.
yeah. Zhang is good, and I think he's probably going to knock Johnny Walker out.
First round knockout, likely.
Seems like that could. I mean, Johnny knows that's going to happen, so maybe he's preparing something, but.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like that could happen. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
beautiful.
inevitable, but it could happen. Ortega and Aljamain. Ortega looks like he just walked out of a microwave oven, so maybe I'm not going to go with Ortega on this one. Although obviously
they fixed it.
he's an amazing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
We'll go with Aljo on
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Question is it going to end on the ground or end on the feet?
Okay.
Probably going to end on the ground.
Okay.
Probably going to go with a submission attempt they're probably both going to attempt something, but I would say Aljo's
Yeah.
going to stick it.
Okay.
That's my
okay.
guess.
Okay, beautiful. I agree. I also think Sergey's a killer, man. He's coming up. I think Sergey's going to win that.
Yeah.
I believe the last two as well, the two Chinese fighters are going to take that as well. I'm pretty sure. That's kind of like a showcase of up-and-coming China talent. I was saying earlier, Dana built the UFC built a UFC Fighting Institute, PI,
Yeah.
UFC PI out there because they're growing. They're growing the fighters out there. And they know China's a massive market. So definitely.
Giant
and
market.
we are actually in Taiwan right now.
Yeah.
We are close to all the
Taipei,
Asian countries.
Taiwan.
We're the hub of Asia in Taiwan. We
That's
love
right.
Taiwan. Taiwan number one. And I've been to Japan. I've been to Korea. I've seen a couple shows in Japan.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So we're the go-to guys for out here.
We
Let
are,
us
and
know
we're
what you think.
excited. I mean, as we've spoken, we're both big fans, and the more MMA gets developed here, the more significant cards are going to end up here. So that's really exciting, and hopefully Taiwan. At some point, Taiwan will produce. I mean, Taiwan has some amazing athletes.
Taiwan has WOTD, Wave the Dragon, which is
Yeah.
good. They've got some boxing events.